Last week, we talked about this Chinese-backed biolab in California, and where they were producing mice with a new strain of COVID, and it was believed that these mice were going to be let loose to infect citizens. So these mice were considered to be deadly and dangerous to the population. But then to add insult to injury, so the disease-riddled mice and hundreds of samples of pathogens, blood, and dubious chemicals were seized. But then come to find out that the U.S. had awarded $500,000 in U.S. taxpayer cash to this lab. So have you seen that article? Are you familiar with the story?
Yeah, I mean, imagine that the CCP's infiltration in this country and the agent for spreading virus is funded by the American, taxpayer dollar. I mean, this is not the first time that it happened, and even the CCP's infiltration, like a front organization, got the tax exempt status approved by the IRS. I mean, there are so many examples to show that there's a lack of oversight of the CCP's infiltration in this country,
right?
And we already know the Wuhan Virology Institution was partially funded by the American taxpayer dollar through NIH. Fauci was the head of the department, and so the CCP's foreign organization on the U.S. soil are enjoying tax-exempt status, and they got taxpayer dollar as a subsidy to further their advance. Yeah, and so this is very.
But I want to say it differently. What I want to say is that the U.S. taxpayer dollars went to a lab in Wuhan that created a bioweapon that killed millions of Americans. So that is such an atrocity. And who's going to be held accountable for that? We haven't. Dr. Fauci's still out walking around. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were creating this. And now this is in California. And on top of this, back in 2018, Governor Gavin Newsom from California gave them a $360,000 tax credit. So prior to COVID and everything else, this biolab, which had a legitimate business in it, but they went defunct. And the CCP and criminal enterprises came in and took this lab over, and it wasn't properly licensed. And this is in California. This isn't in Wuhan. I'm in Arizona. This is in the state next door to us, where they were now planning on releasing these deadly mice into our society.